We welcome you live to the iCar Pro Series Season number 3 race at Rockingham Speedway. And it is time for another iCar race, race number 11 of the season. Just now 5 remain. We're coming tonight from the Rock. Qualifying is already underway after the warm-up session, of course. And cars are on the racetrack. First one is Ashton Miller. He finished 3rd last night in the Truck Series race, heading down the front straightaway and back into 1 and 2. And that's 79 Chevrolet. You also got the 17 there on the bottom. Here is the 29 of Jeremiah Gauntlet coming on track. You got the 69 as well. Here's the 57 of Cash Culp. And the 9, that is TJ Moon entering the racetrack as well. Down the back straightaway goes, of course, current points leader and back-to-back defending series champion Cameron Chandler. Making his way down this front stretch. Cross the line for Cameron, of course, only 1 lap qualifying in iCar. Miller so far top of the board. Now Cameron Chandler goes fastest. Turklotz is 3rd. Cheery is 4th. All right, so anyways, Schaefer is 5th. Jonathan Schaefer, I believe he's a new rookie tonight. There comes TJ Moon across the line in the 9 Ford Mustang. Moon is going to qualify 5th. Down the back straightaway goes the 97 Gary Smith, winner already this season at Lanier. Knox Thompson, how about him 3rd? Down the front straightaway goes Gary Smith. Across the line for the 97 car. Gary is going to be 3rd. Good lap by him. Here's the 70 of Wyatt Miller down the back straightaway. And here comes CJ Urban, 2-time iCar Pro Series winner on the racetrack as well, making his way to 3 and 4 for qualifying. Don't believe you're going to see Bryce Benton tonight, unfortunately, for whatever reason. Got something going on. So Bryce Benton will not be in this race. He'll be there for the Cup Series like usual on Thursday, though. Nothing changes there. And the 1 and 2 goes Erdman. Only car that's currently on the racetrack for qualifying. Can anyone knock Cameron Chandler off of pole? Matthew White isn't here either. Oh, actually, he is here. He just hasn't qualified yet. And the 3 and 4 goes Erdman. And now down the front straightaway for the 94 machine on his 1 lap of qualifying. It will put him in 12th. The greatest of lap times there for CJ Urban. Nobody else currently on the racetrack. Looking at the iCar Pro Series point standings entry tonight, Cameron Chandler goes 31 points above Matthew White after kind of a bad race in Talladega for both of those 2 drivers. I was, of course, actually in the last race of Talladega. It was a pretty big mess all around. We nearly made it to the end of the race. Did a lot better than we did in Charlotte, which is my debut. Matthew White, of course, is 31 back. Bryce Benton sits 102 back. He won't be in this race. Neither will Payson Lindsay, who sits 4th in points. So, battle for the championship, realistically now, is just between Matthew White and Cameron Chandler, like we all kind of expected. About 1 minute and 20 to go here. Before we get underway for the iCar Pro Series, it looks like, I don't know why Matthew White isn't qualifying. That's interesting. Neither is Braden Hunsticker, of course, your winner last night in the Truck Series. Rich Cherry here going to be starting in 6th place. Alrighty. Real quick, also, usually Lance Johnson joins us in the booth for iCar. He will not be doing that this week, so we'll have another commentator tonight. We'll have Zane Rahman, which is, he, of course, is a full-time Grand National Series driver. Raced here last night at the truck race, so he's going to be making his broadcasting debut tonight in iCar. So we're excited to have him on board. And Von Cobbs Jr. is on the racetrack right now, but kind of driving backwards. So. All right. So it looks like Cameron Chandler here going to be on pole. As Rockingham week, of course, will continue. Cameron had a pretty bad Truck Series race. I mean, he qualified outside the top 15, I believe. And then took forever to get through the field. Once he finally got up front late in the race, he got basically turned to the wall by his teammate Payson Lindsay. So better start here tonight to the iCar race. He'll be on pole, looking to extend his points lead over Matthew White. He's going to be starting in 15th tonight, not qualifying for whatever reason, as we will, of course, fire off first with our warm-up session. Here comes Rich Cherry, like I said, winner last night, coming on to the racetrack. He will pull on there as well. And there's the 17, also the 94. That is CJ Urban, the 70 there, Wyatt Miller, and others pulling onto the racetrack here at Rockingham for the about 5-minute warm-up session. From the Rock, race number 11 of the iCar Pro Series season here from Rockingham Speedway. Race number 2 of the week, of course, like I said, we had trucks last night. The Grand National Series is tomorrow. And then, of course, the NASCAR Racing FedEx Cup Series here. Their first ever points race here. They had the All-Star last season, but this season, their first ever points race at Rockingham Speedway. All right, we're going to bring Zane Rahman to the booth here for the first time. So, Zane, welcome to the booth for the first time ever here in Rockingham Speedway, your iCar broadcasting debut, also your league broadcasting debut here tonight for the iCar Pro Series race. How do you ultimately expect this race to go with these 100 laps just early on?
Well, first off, it's a pleasure to be here. And also, adding on to what you said, Rockingham, it depends. It's a really complicated track, especially with the ARCA car. Different lines all around, so it's going to be interesting to see what these drivers can do today.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Cameron Chandler, of course, going to be starting on pole tonight for this race. Yet again, looking to extend his points lead over Matthew White. I haven't seen Matthew on the racetrack in a little bit. Honestly, shocked. I don't exactly know where he is. I'm going to make sure he's not disconnected or whatever. It doesn't look like he is. Yeah, it says Matthew White is connected. So I'm not really sure what's going on with Matthew White. Didn't race trucks last night. He wasn't exactly, I don't think it's in the state. But here's the 13 of Juan Cobb Jr. making his way through 1 and 2 now down the back straightaway. And it's turns 3 and 4. And we got 57 there of Cash Culp. So, like I said, just 5 races remain in this iCar Pro Series season. Of course, we got tonight at Rockingham. And then we go to next week sorry, I'm looking at the completely wrong schedule.
Next week, I believe we go to Pocono.
Yeah, Pocono, which the Cup Series will be at Pocono as well that week. Then we go to Dover, Charlotte, and then Bristol for the championship. Here's the 48 of Knox Thompson up the racetrack in that GoPro machine through 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. But Rockingham week is such a packed week of action. Like I said, we had the truck race last night, our iCar today, and 2 other races coming for Grand National and Cup. 4 days of action, and lobbies also on Friday. So absolutely packed week of NASCAR Racing FedEx League action. We're so excited to continue this. Last night's Truck Series race was absolutely amazing. I mean, Zane, you were unfortunately caught up there in a wreck, but ultimately it was still pretty fun to drive on the racetrack all night long.
Yeah, no, yesterday's truck race was really fun to me. It was going well until Brody Webster came up the track and I slammed into it. So that was unfortunate, but overall, I think the race was really good. And I can't wait to see what these drivers can do within the next, today, tomorrow for Grand National, and of course, Thursday's Cup race.
Yeah, we will see. Here's the 18 of Matthew White finally back on the racetrack. Didn't qualify at all. He'll be starting 15th tonight. There's his teammate Braden Hunsicker, well, teammate in the Cup Series at least, down to number 1 and 2. Braden probably was the dominant car of the day. He'll go top of the board here. The dominant truck of the day last night. Oh, until he got
it was harder than Pedro Osco and Braden Hunsicker.
Yeah, until he got some damage in the second half of the race that kind of just took him out of contention. Looking for some redemption tonight. Dominated Lanier this season, but didn't get the win. I don't believe Braden actually has a victory in iCar this season. He's not even inside the top 10 in points, I don't think so. Braden definitely looking to get some things turned around.
Yep, he's one driver to keep an eye on today.
Under a minute to go in the warm-up session. So far, your top 5 are Hunsicker, Chandler, Herklotz, Miller, and Cheery. All drivers that ran very well in the truck race last night. Top 5 speed for majority of the day. A lot of them finished top 5. Your winner, Cheery, in 5th. So, going to be interesting here at the Rock. One of NASCAR's most iconic racetracks. We are excited to be here yet again. Last season, of course, it was just, for points races at least, just iCar and Grand National. You had the Truck Series. Of course, they added the Cup race also as well. So, TJ Moon, currently 9th on the board, will pull off. 17 is Sheldon. He's also a rookie, Keaton Sheldon. first start for him. TJ Moon is practicing his victory lane ceremony right here. Or that's not Juan Cobbs Jr., my God.
That's Juan Cobbs. That can't be GJ Moon.
A bit of a moment there for me, but there's Hunsicker across the line. We'll end this session top of the board by nearly 0.2 of a second. Very good speed like we saw out of that 77 machine last night. All right, this is Rockingham. We are back in the NASCAR, or in the iCar Pro Series from the Rock. I, of course, made a start last week. I was doing my in-car POV, but officially back for the real broadcast tonight. And for some reason, Cameron Chandler's got a truck as the pace car. It's not the truck series. Anyways, we welcome you live to Rockingham Speedway tonight for the iCar Pro Series Season 3, Race 11 from the Rock. And Zane, I usually do this with our co-commentators. You won't be any different. Can you bring us through our top 10 starting positions here?
You got it. Starting from row 1, we got the 8 of Cameron Chandler, the 79 of Ashton Miller. Row 2, Harry Smith, and also Knox Thompson in the 48. Keep an eye on Knox. He's been showing really good consistency within the past few races. Row 3, Christian Herkel and Richard Sheary. Row 4, TJ Moon, the 9 of Schaffer. I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. Row 6. Row 6 to 12 of Wyatt Blair and the 94 CJ Erdman. Row 7, Ashton Miller. Okay, I didn't even know the last two guys back here from looking, but
all right, we'll
yeah,
start to roll off. Sorry about that. Hang on. They roll off the grid here at Rockingham Speedway. We are excited for this one. Ready to get rocking at the Rock. Cameron Chandler and Ashton Miller leading this field to the green flag. Just 5 races to go in the iCar Pro Series season, and Cameron Chandler, a good advantage now over Matthew White. Matthew's going to be starting here in 15th place. Cameron comes into this race with about a 31-point lead over the 18 car. What can Matthew do to try to claw his way through the field, trying to do the exact same thing Cameron did last night, this time just don't wreck.
iCar was last... Sorry, you were saying?
iCar was last here 2 seasons ago, back in Season 1, so it's been a little bit, but they are back and ready to kickstart Tuesday night's action for the iCar Pro Series.
It's going to be a long way up for Matthew White if he wants to get up to the lead.
That is true. That 18 car is fast all the time. We'll see what he can do. Here we go. The iCar Pro Series in Season 3 is racing from the Rock. Off we go in Rockingham. A little bit of contact with 3 wide already behind him, but side by side for the lead between Ashton Miller and Cameron Chandler as they head down the back straightaway door to door. Miller around the outside, going to clear Chandler. Chandler goes high again through 3 and 4. Trying to get momentum around the outside. It actually slides. Miller gets loose as well. Cameron Chandler crossover back to the inside lane. Ticker is broken for some reason. Thank you, iRacing. As they head back to 1 and 2. There's that 79 of Miller around the outside. We're on lap 2. Sorry. Fix that in a minute. He's on the bumper of Chandler. They're side by side with their Gary Smith to the inside of Knox Thompson up to 3rd place already. Smith, a bit of a bobble back there. Matthew White is already back up to almost 9th or 8th, I believe. What a start by this 18 car. We saw he's going to be best 3 wide on the bottom. Splits Cherry in that 00 of her class.
Talk about a charge to the front. Matthew has gained over, let's see. Well, I can't even see how much. Just give it 10. Yeah, what a restart for Matthew White.
Give us just a quick second. What we're doing, but okay. Let's go radio style here for a second. A single file most of the field. We actually have a crash real quick in the back. Oh my goodness. Oh, Braden Hunsinger goes around.
Braden Hunsinger and Wyatt Blair. That's going to throw the caution out. What happened between these two?
I think you also had CJ Urban spin out all on his own back there. CJ just, he gets turned by the 5.
The 7 turned him right into the wall.
And then I got to see.
What happened between Hunsinger and.
Yeah, we'll see here real quick. You got the 3 wide, and then this caution comes out. Miller into the wall, and then he squeezes Colorino, and around goes Hunsinger with them both.
They just ran out of room. Yep.
And real quick, we're going to try to get your ticker back. sorry about that. iRacing, or my Tinker software, I should say, having a bit of a moment, but back to live here in just a quick second from Rockingham Speedway. First caution of the day. Took a little bit shorter than we saw last night in the Truck Series. All right. Back live here at Rockingham Speedway. We have some cars coming to pit road, led by Rich Cheer, your winner last night in the truck race. And Jacob Clearing also pitting. He's got a little bit of damage. Cash Culp also visiting pit road. Under lap 6, the first caution flag is underway here. And there is the 70 of Wyatt Miller. Big damage already on him.
Seems like he must have overshot his pit box.
Yeah, of course. Gonna have to try to repair that machine. It's been a rough season for him, unfortunately. There's Cash Culp. And Jeremiah Gauntly pulling out of pit road here.
And we got more people overshotting in their pit boxes. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's going on down here. As Rich Cherry will now roll off. Anyways, Cameron Chandler leads over Asher Miller, Knox Thompson, Gary Smith, and Jonathan Schaefer. In 5th place, you got Urquhart 6th. How about Matthew White? What a start scene for Matthew White, up from 15th to 7th in only like 4 green flag laps here.
Yeah, he took advantage of those. I saw like the guys in the rear, they were getting all squirrely, and Matthew took advantage of all of that.
We're going to come to the shoes this time by. Of course, shoes going down the front straightaway at every race this week besides lobbies here at Rockingham. Cameron Chandler going to choose the outside lane. Miller going to go low. You see Thompson go outside. Oh, and somebody goes straight through there. That's going to be a penalty rear of the field for Jonathan Schaefer, unfortunately for him.
I don't think he didn't realize about that, but hopefully he learns next time.
Not the way you want to start off your debut here in the first restart at all. And you have to go to the rear. If he ever is going to go to the rear. And there comes Wyatt Miller with that damaged 70 car, looking like Austin Dillon, what we saw in the Daytona 500 this week.
Yep.
And now Schaefer will drop to the rear. Unfortunate for him. Already Miller and Culp are both laps down. As here we go. We're going to restart on lap 8 from Rockingham. We got to have Chandler on the outside lane, Miller down low. What can that 79 do? Had a really great restart earlier. We will see. Door to door between those two Chevrolets back in the front row. Forward Chevy row number 2. Back to green to Rockingham. That great restart by Cameron Chandler up on the outside lane. That top lane definitely has the momentum advantage on these restarts. They head back into 1 and 2, side by side for third. You got Gary Smith to the inside of Knox Thompson. He's going to clear him. You also got Matthew White. Another great restart up to 5th place, almost up to 4th. That 18 car is coming through the field. You got Braden Hunsinger there on the bottom as well as they head through 3 and 4. Miller, though, not giving up yet. He's to the quarter panel of that 8 car of Cameron Chandler.
Really got to lose back there. I'm not sure who he made contact with. He got all sideways.
Now you got Braden Hunsinger side by side with TJ Moon. And here we go, door to door. Knox Thompson and Matthew White side by side for 4th place. Almost a little bit of contact. Matthew hits the apron ever so slightly on the bottom. Thompson, though, trying to work his way around the outside. They're still side by side. Here comes Christian Urquhart around the outside as well in that 00 car. To lap 10 of 100 we go in Rockingham. Matthew White back on the bottom. He's actually got Herklotz to his outside, looking to clear him, and he will. Herklotz around the outside now, Knox Thompson. Matthew going to try to follow him in line with him. Rockingham, of course, the banking makes this thing so interesting. White got loose.
He got loose off the exit.
Side by side between TJ Moon and Braden Hunsinger behind them as well. Yeah, that 69 car, of course, Schaefer had to go to the tail end of the field for choose cone violation. Door to door now. Here comes the 9 at TJ Moon. Knox Thompson's getting absolutely swallowed alive here. Losing spots left and right. Knox Thompson slides way up the racetrack. Contact with TJ Moon. To the inside goes Matthew White on the 00 of Herklotz. For what is 4th place. Side by side, back into 1 and 2, these two go. On the bottom, they're going to head door to door, and maybe not door to door now, down the back stretch. And TJ Moon is up to clear into 6th place. You got Schaefer into 7th, Hunsinger into 8th, and Knox Thompson now falling back to 9th. Up front, we see Master Miller trying to reel in that 8 car of Cameron Chandler. The gap about 0.2 of a second. Of course, field window tonight going to be about 70 or so laps. The leaders will not be able to make it to the end. They would have to have a pit stop in this race. Will be under green, will be under caution. We will see as this race goes on. Miller got a little bit loose there. So here we go, side by side. TJ Moon to the inside of Matthew White for fifth. Contact! Heading back into 1 and 2. These two have history together. And they're getting together yet again. They're going to be 3 wide, almost down the back straightaway. Around the outside, Schaefer, 2 for 1 special. Gets them both. Up to 50 goes. Of course, TJ Moon, Matthew White on the caution's out.
Caution is out. Not
Around
sure
goes Jeremiah Gauntly. Let's take a look at what happens. Bring out our second yellow flag. Gauntly there running by himself. He just gets loose off turn number 2 and spins down the back straightaway. Along with the 29 machine. And a Chevrolet this week. It looks like he maybe got the apron ever so slightly off corner exit. Kind of spun him around there. Nothing, unfortunately for him. No contact with the wall or anything, so he should be just good to go, get a new set of tires, and he's back on his way. All right, we're going to see if leaders pit this time. Interesting time for a caution lap 15. You still can't make it to the end, but maybe you want to top up. Is that worth losing track position? Here we go. Cameron Chandler, nope. He will stay out. Nobody else faked. Nobody else faked. Here we go. Clarino going to be the first one to pit from 11th, and everyone else get behind him also going to come, including Cherry for the 2nd time in this race, and CJ Erdman. All right, well, this has been an interesting one. At this point of the truck race last night, we had 0 cautions. We already have had 2 today on lap 16. Of course, there are slightly different drivers. There are a bunch of iCar exclusive drivers in here. I mean, Mike Cobb Jr., he's full-time at Cup, but doesn't race trucks. Wyatt Miller, Cash Cole.
First off, a pit road, it's going to be Richard Cheery. Second, CJ Erdman. Let's see who else. I'd like to fix the panels, okay.
We got come over here. Definitely for Jonathan Schaefer, that made his way up to 5th. Got the 2 for 1 pass with Matthew White and TJ Moon after they got together. Definitely he's going to probably know that the choose cone exists this time. And, I mean, it's understandable. You're a rookie, your first ever choose cone here in the league. So, I mean, it's somewhat understandable. So we've come to choose this time by. Outside for Cameron Chandler. How about inside both for the 97? As they choose behind. All right. All right, so we will come back to green on lap 18 here in Rockingham. Alrighty, rolling down the back straightaway. Let's see if we can get somewhat of a run in now. That would be nice. Same song at 3rd verse on the front row between Chandler and Miller again for this restart. So a long ways to go in this one. Space Truck will make his way back to pit road. We are back racing yet again from Rockingham. Chandler, decent restart on the outside lane. He will clear Ashton Miller heading back into 1 and 2. You got Gary Smith against inside lane. Miller trying to get to the quarter panel of that iCar to race him for the lead. Almost going to be side by side, but Miller gets cleared in line for 2nd. Side by side behind him between the 18 of Matthew White, shoving Herklotz in the 3 and 4. Also got Herklotz in 00, 69 of Sheldon as they go 3 wide down the front straightaway. Schaefer on the bottom. He will back out of line. Almost contact with Herklotz and TJ Moon. Nearly contact again. Moon around the outside, going to get clear of that whole mess. And Herklotz is starting to fall back. He's got the 69 to his inside of Braden Hunsicker, also trying to challenge behind him. And for the lead, here comes Ashton Miller, but he gets loose and nearly spins at the bottom.
He does.
My goodness, what a save. But he's going to lose maybe 2 spots as Matthew White goes around the outside for 3rd. Matthew, what a P3 already in Rockingham after starting in 15. Here we go, contact between Herklotz and Hunsicker.
Just remember, Hunsicker wasn't too happy about how yesterday's race ended with him and Payton, so watch out for him. He could be on the charge here.
There's TJ Moon in the 9.
Right on his bumper, Moon got a little loose.
Here we go to the outside of Ashton Miller. Goes that 18 car Matthew White. And real quick, we have an update. YouTube just crashed for everybody. They're having a huge technical issue all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on. So Matthew White up here.
Hunsicker on the inside, Moon.
And there's that 77 on the bottom of TJ Moon. So if you contact again.
The exit.
Braden Hunsicker saves the race car. So it's definitely being streamed, but I'm not exactly sure who can actually watch it. So that's just YouTube's fault. Not really sure what's going on. We see a lot of cars running the outside down into 1 and 2. Is that different, Zane, than what we saw last night in the truck race?
A big factor of this track even is throttle control a lot. If you want to managing the throttle and the current is pretty much a key factor on this track. Normally we would want to get on the throttle early on a corner entry. It's exit that you got to be careful about, especially when you get loose. Here we go.
Hunsicker working inside of Moon for what is 5th place. He got the 69 of Schaefer. Oh, what a moment by
Moon gets
TJ
loose
Moon.
again off the corner.
And that 69 of Schaefer's coming. They're starting to also catch Ashton Miller in the 79 car. Schaefer slides down into the corner. Here comes the double zoo of Herklotz on his bottom. Door to door between Hunsicker and Moon ahead of them.
Hunsicker isn't cutting any slack with Moon whatsoever. He wants to get by him. Way into the track goes the 9.
Side by side down the front straightaway. Caution's out for the 3rd time today. What was it this time? And around again goes Jeremiah Gauntly.
Seems like another car was also involved in that too. I'm not sure who that was.
Richard Cherry.
Richard Cherry.
Let's see what happened to Gauntly here in the 29. Oh, actually, I don't think it had anything to do with Cherry. I think he was side by side with the 17 net code. Then around goes the 17. And actually, Cherry got a piece of it. He spun out himself, and then multi-car incident there again, including the 29 of Jeremiah Gauntly for the 2nd straight incident. I mean, there's nothing to really look at because he net coded.
Yeah, really unfortunate for Cherry himself. Yesterday's winner too. Keep that in mind. So.
Oh, here
we go. I don't think he's too happy about that.
Cameron Chandler pitting, and there's
Matthew White, Ashton Miller goes with him. Here comes Juan Cobbs as well, along with Richard Cherry.
A lot of other drivers, those stay out. This is interesting, this call. First car that stays out is Gary Smith. Same thing with Hunsicker and Moon. Here's Cameron Chandler to pit road. See how this call, we have to back it up in this pit stop. See how this call ultimately works out for these guys. They're caution already on lap 27. And off pit road is fuel only, it looks like.
And the first off the good road, Ashton Miller 2nd. Matthew White 3rd off the road now.
As they will catch back
in
half the field. One of the shoes this time by. So, like we said, unfortunately, YouTube having a bit of an issue. Typical, I don't even know what's going on. But so sorry if you can't actually watch the race. We'll hopefully be back here in a minute.
I think should be choose cone here, I believe so.
Outside, Gary Smith will restart with the lead. Remember, Chandler and others don't have fresh tires behind them. They only have fuel. So we'll see how this ultimately goes. All right. Gonna go side by side for this restart. 3 cautions already in the first 28 laps of this race. It's gonna a bit of a caution fest to say the least, but hopefully we can get some green flag racing in for a little bit. Gary Smith, Braden Hunsicker are going to lead this field back to the green flag here at Rockingham yet again. Side by side, Ford Mustang, Chevrolet on the bottom. Starter's got the green flag in hand. He's waving it yet again. We're back underway at the Rock yet again on lap 29. Another great restart from the outside lane of Gary Smith as he'll be clear of Hunsicker back at a 1-2. Look at the bottom. Cameron Chandler, another shot to drive their way back through the field. This is the difficulty of when you're one of the only cars pitting. You got to drive your way through.
Here comes Hunsicker again on the inside of Smith.
Braden down to the low side of Gary Smith, door to door, side by side contact. They slide down the front straightaway. Hunsicker saves it. Still door to door as they head back into 1-2. Schaefer, Jonathan Schaefer, that is, coming in third. Hunsicker might just give it the spot. No, he's not. He's fighting back to the inside. They're going to be door to door, trying to side draft down the back straightaway, still trying to keep him tight. Heading back into 3 and 4. Here comes Jonathan Schaefer around the outside, almost to the middle. Big send to the bottom, almost a slide job for Braden Hunsicker, and he somehow clears Gary Smith. But here comes Jonathan Schaefer in his debut on the bottom. Oh, Gary Smith in the wall a little bit. iRacing, thank you. Side by side for second. Smith again clear.
We're making big moves back there, trying to shoot a 3 with 33 and 94.
Yeah, he is on the move, of course, on not fresher tires, but oh, Christian Herklotz.
Herklotz saves it, avoids the pit barrels. We say green.
Caution. There's the 94 of CJ Urban on the outside lane. So Matthew White down 3 wide already. Got 5 on the outside as well. Heading back to 3 and 4. That 94 there of CJ Urban on the top. 29 of Jeremiah Gauntly already been involved in 2 incidents today. Matthew White is up to 11th place. Cameron Chandler.
My goodness. Nearly cuts off CJ Urban and nearly got him killed.
Link for somebody.
Bit of contact. I'm not sure who that was.
Contact down the back straightaway. White goes wide. Almost got into the door of the 20. I think he did get to the door of the 29 a little bit. Still side by side here for 9th place. Again contact. White slides. Again. Also, Cameron Chandler passes Clarino for 6th. They are still going at it door to door. Matthew White did not get clear on Gauntly. It's got to be a little bit fresh ready for the driver of the 18. Knows he's faster, just can't get clear.
Matthew and Jeremiah is getting Matthew anytime. He wants to hold on to that position.
White drives into deep. He's going to look to slide up in front of him. You got Jacob Florino on the bottom. Gets a little bit loose, but does clear that 29 car. White up in the 9th. Here he goes to the inside of Florino for 8th place. Ashley Miller right ahead of him in 7th. And of course, Cameron Chandler there in 6th. And now he is clear on Jacob Florino. Much easier pass that time by for 8th. Up front, we look at Gary Smith in 2nd. Braden Hunsicker still leading this race. Dominant car last night early on.
Oh,
the wall.
Smith got a little loose off a quarter exit.
TJ Moon just got on the wall. Knocks Thompson, falls back. Here comes Chandler. Gets around Thompson. Now go to the outside of Moon. Or what is now fifth.
These 2
place.
Chevrolets, they can take advantage of this. And Chandler on the outside. Big run.
That iCar looking to clear that 9 machine. He will. Cameron Chandler up in the 4th place. That pole sitter looking very quick. Here we go to the outside is Ashley Miller and Knox Thompson.
Miller coming into the mix. So does Matthew White as well.
Oh, Miller slides and gets loose again. Trying to save it. My goodness. Going to lose multiple positions here, maybe 2 or 3.
Miller, a way to hang on to it.
Door to door in front of them between Knox Thompson and Matthew White. Side by side, down the backstretch. Almost a little bit of contact with that 79 machine. Looking at the inside, White, though, on that 48 of Thompson, battling for 6th place. TJ Moon, that Ford Mustang ahead of him. 3 manufacturers, Toyota, Chevy, and Ford. Here is Thompson actually working his way back to the inside. Almost contact again.
Thompson
through 1 and 2.
Moves him on the track alone.
Here's White on the bottom.
3 wide on the backstretch.
White gets to the inside. He is there. Side by side now, 3 wide once again. Back to 3 and 4. Contact between Thompson and Moon. They are still 3 wide. Going to be heading down this front stretch. Where's Ashton Miller going to go? Contact Moon up the racetrack. Gotta keep it out of the wall, and he will lift. Matthew White looking to be clear if he could just get out of this mess. Side by side with Knox Thompson.
I don't think TJ Moon's really all too happy with Knox Thompson on that move.
Yeah, Thompson looking to hold on to 5th place. He won't be able to do that. White is up to P5. Here is Ashton Miller on as well. Yet door-to-door action between Gauntly and Clarino, and Erdman running there in 11th place behind them. Up front, the gap is about half a second for Braden Hunziker over Harry Smith. Here is Jacob Clarino also making his way to the inside. TJ Moon, of course, hit the wall that one time. He's kind of knocked a lot of the speed out of his race car. Might fall back to even aim.
Here comes Clarino now. He wants to get into this mix. With him in the 9. Moves him up the track again. TJ up the track. Scrolls the wall a little.
Definitely struggle now for TJ Moon to the inside. Oh, contact roughing him up is Erdman. Moon is back to 11th here. Looking up front. Battle for 2nd. Jonathan Schaefer. Oh, he's going to nearly turn. Gary Smith.
He saved it. Yes, he does.
Gets loose again. He is.
By Gary Smith.
He's probably not getting too pleased about that, and rightfully so. Jonathan Schaefer will drive off in the distance, but I think he has to watch his back for the rest of this race. Gary Smith is definitely not a guy you want to make too mad. Here's Matthew White in 5th. Right behind Cameron Chandler in that 8th machine.
Keep an eye on these two. I mean, they've made gains at the beginning of the race, more since the last restart, should I say. Only a matter of time to push hits and Braden Hunziker hold on to that lead.
Here's Matthew White to the inside of Chandler before him. That 18 car looks very solid, and maybe a bit of tire saving for Cameron Chandler. There's still a long ways to go in this race, not even halfway through. And he lets Matthew White go almost. In the 4th place goes that 18. Chandler back to 5th. They're starting to catch Gary Smith, who got his tires a little bit scorched up there after getting completely sideways and having to save it. Here comes Matthew White working inside. Cameron Chandler down on his bumper. Definitely get very... Oh, we got a car spinning again! It's Jeremiah Gauntly. And that's the 3rd incident. That's the 3rd incident he has caused tonight. Another one. Let's see what happened. Just, again, all by himself. Spins out. It's the 3rd time he's done that.
At this track, Ethan, you got to be careful about where you put your corner exit and entry, because it's really difficult to keep the car above the O-line. If you clip that apron too much, then you're going around.
On board, they just lost it all by himself. Once again. Definitely not what you can be doing, not what you want to be doing here. Causing 3 cautions in the first 47 laps of the race at Rockingham. Christian Herklotz is currently 10 laps down. Of course, saw him nearly spin out that one time, brought it to pit road a couple other times, and is probably out of contention for the win easily. All right, now, what are we going to see here? Everyone come down pit road? Who knows?
Considering it's halfway of the race, I would expect people to come down.
Braden Hunziker will be pitting. You're going to see Matthew White stay out. Will Chandler fake? No, he's going to pit.
White's staying out. Everybody seems to be coming in.
Besides Matthew White. He's the only one here, I think, from the lead lap cars that will stay out. Cameron Chandler, remember, he will have a bit of a shorter pit stop. Well, actually, he's going to take tires. That's the thing. I don't know about this call by Cameron. I don't think the strategy ultimately is going to work out. White's going to try to salvage something with it. Cameron has to take less fuel, but he would still have to change tires anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right. Jeremiah Gauntly, for some reason, rolling off pit road first. Braden Hunziker is now going to win the race off pit road. Second is going to be Schaefer. Third, Gary Smith. Fourth, Cameron Chandler. Fifth, Knox Thompson. Matthew White is going to be the only one here on old tires. So I don't know about this.
Considering how Matthew White's been running his car within the past few laps, it's going to be interesting to see him on this restart.
YouTube still isn't back. Not really sure what these fruits are doing. Anyways, here is the 18 of Matthew White. He probably just choose the outside. Yes, he will. Braden Hunter on the bottom. 9-10. All right. Hopefully, Jeremiah Gauntlet can keep it straight this time. He has been the cause of 3 cautions in the first half of this race. All of them have been well, he's got 2 self-spins by himself and lost it on the bottom of somebody earlier on as well. It has been an abysmal race for that 29 machine so far today.
Yeah, really unfortunate.
We're going to restart here on lap 50 from the Rock. It'll be Cup Series
This restart
teammates
will determine, yeah.
and 2
This restart
former-
will determine whether or not if Matthew can hold off these guys on new tires. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do.
You have the first ever NASCAR Racing FedEx Cup Series champion on the outside and your most recent Cup Series champion, Braden Huntsicker, on the bottom with Matthew White on his top. Of course, 2 teammates in the Cup Series as well. Back to green again on lap 50. Restart by that 18 of Matthew White. He is going to look to get clear on Braden Huntsicker as they head back into 1 and 2. Side by side though, but remember old tires in the 18 car. It is definitely looking like it's, we got nearly a crash and Urquhart is going
to.
to.
That's pushing Urquhart.
He saves
I'm
it.
not sure if he saved it.
He did. Round the outside, look at Schaefer in that 69, and around the outside, almost trying to go 3 wide. Matthew White does not let him go through. Still though, side by side.
On the inside.
With those old tires, impressively, Matthew White enough, keeping it on the outside lane of Huntsicker. Almost contact door to door. White, momentum coming. Looking to clear him. But he slides up the racetrack. Old tires not looking so good, and Braden Huntsicker's now clear for the lead. And here comes Schaefer for second place. Not exactly sure about this call for Matthew White.
Luckily, the law goes Matthew White.
They should, all besides Matthew White, be able to make it to the end. That's another thing I don't like this call. And the old tires. He's back now to 4th, maybe even 5th. Gary Smith to his inside. Not looking like a good call at all for the 18 of Matthew White. And here comes Ashton Miller as well. Old tires obviously not working out.
Old tires at this track, Ethan, is pretty much what you don't want to be, especially on these restarts.
He's going to fall back to almost 6th place. Florino following Matthew in line as well.
Contact back here. I'm not sure who that was.
Florino around the outside of Miller as they both battle for 6th here. Up front, we see Cameron Chandler trying to reel in Jonathan Schaefer, who's had a decent debut. Side by side again down the backstretch. Clarino in the top lane. Matthew White wrapping that bottom yellow line. Jacob Clarino is clear to 5th. Braden Huntsicker, though, continues to lead strategy, working out very nicely for the 77 so far tonight at Rockingham. I think he could have asked for much more so far as we come to 45 laps to go at the Rock. Schaefer is definitely trying to more outside lane. Hasn't been working out the greatest for him. Matthew White, there is Ashton Miller on his bumper, and Knox Thompson in the 48 also trying to pass. Riding with Thompson. See Miller still trying to work on that 18 car, Matthew White.
Yeah, like I said earlier, throttle control is a really important factor at this track. I mean, listen to Knox here.
Hang on, we got a battle side by side for 3rd between Gary Smith and Cameron Chandler towards the door. Chandler is going to re-clear him, and he'll actually try to get momentum on the bottom to get to the quarter panel of that 69 of Schaefer. Chandler seems like, he's outside 3 and 4, bottom 1 and 2, and gets good momentum down the front straightaway. It definitely looks like it's kind of the strategy for Chandler. Now he'll run the outside through 1 and 2, like he did in 3 and 4. trying a couple different lines. He got a run on Schaefer. Here he is to the inside for second on the bottom. Big run to the inside, door to door for the second position. Cameron knows he has to go. He's got Braden trying to drive off in his front view windshield. Back to third he goes. Matthew White is all the way back to ninth in that 18 car. There he is. Straightaway. He moved to the inside here, trying to go side by side with Miller. Or I'm sorry, Schaefer. Chandler trying to stay
On a
to his
quarter panel. Schaefer clears him again.
Yeah, Schaefer's been doing a nice job holding on to second with your points leader and two-time defending series champion on his bumper. Chandler knows as these laps click down, got to be more and more desperate. See Hunsicker beginning to pull away even more, nearly 6/10 of a second to gap. Schaefer trying to hold on. Here comes Gary Smith to the bottom of Chandler on a three-way battle for second place. Chandler is definitely faster, just cannot find the right way around the 69 car. They both are on the outside through 1 and 2. Schaefer goes a little bit high, nearly to the wall. Chandler trying to cut down back bottom. He's going to be side by side with him back in the 3 and 4 and down the back straightaway. Chandler going to try to drive it in deep and maybe just try to pull a bit of a slide job on that 69. Can't do it. Schaefer back to the outside. Actually blinks a little bit. And gets momentum. Got to re-clear him. Cameron definitely probably starting to get a little bit frustrated with the 69 car. Oh, and the wall almost.
Good run on the outside. Big checkup from the outside.
And the caution's out.
Caution is out.
Juan Cobb's
two cars, Juan Cobb's and...
It's the 5 of Sheldon, I believe.
I'm not sure who that is.
Another caution that's in the rear of the field. We'll see what happens here. The 3 wide, that's White and Belair. And oh, he gets turned by
Cobb's just got too tight and it just took out the 5. Thankfully, he misses the pit barrels, but both of them.
This is a very good break for Matthew White, by the way. He's definitely going to come down pit road for service, and he's going to be on fresh tires.
Keep in mind.
Well.
Keep in mind, Matthew had to pit it since I don't think since lap 20, I believe. So really, this was a really good.
And he only took fuel then as well.
Mm-hmm.
So 65 laps on the same set of tires, and I don't expect anyone else to maybe they could surprise us here. I don't expect anyone else to pit. So this could actually play into Matthew's hands. He's going to restart outside the top 10, but on fresher tires than everybody else. It looks like, actually, no. Gary Smith maybe going to pit. Nope.
Smith? No.
Matthew White definitely
Nobody's coming in. Okay.
Yep,
Matthew White for sure is going to pit.
So this is going to be a great break
for
him.
He's coming in with him as well.
He'll be good on fuel, and he'll have good, fresh tires now to try to drive his way through the field. It was a risky strategy. It didn't play off the best. I don't know if I agree with it, but we'll see. I mean, we've seen Matthew drive his way through the field in these races and win them. Back to the Nashville Fairgrounds a few weeks ago. What a drive late in the race to win that race. From 7th to the lead in the final closing laps. Jeremiah Gauntly, surprised he wasn't involved in this caution. For service, and that's 29. White will roll off, I believe, at 11th. All right. Hunsicker, though, continuing to lead this race. I don't think he wanted to really see that caution, though, because Schaefer was holding off Cameron Chandler. He was just driving off. So definitely not a caution Braden wanted to see at all. All right, well,
I'm honestly wondering if Schaefer can pull the upset.
That would be pretty intense, pretty insane if he could do that in his debut.
Yes, it will. Schaefer gonna go down on the bottom, Hunsicker on the top.
They'll choose behind them. Alrighty. So we're gonna restart in lap 68. Just over 30 laps to go in this race. So obviously well over halfway, and starting to come maybe to the final quarter of this one. Getting close to that at least. never had a really long green flag run in this race. It's been kind of maybe about 20 or so lap runs, and then a caution comes out. So we'll see if this could be the final yellow. I mean, we had a long green flag run in the race last night in the Truck Series, so we will see. All right.
All right.
Race truck. He's going to make that hard left turn. It's a very hard left turn down the pit road. Braden Huntsicker and Jonathan Schaefer on the front row. Schaefer a little bit of wheel spin there as they come back to green. A great restart also by Cameron Chandler around the outside of Schaefer. Exactly what Huntsicker did not want to see. Side by side back into 1 and 2. Chandler around the outside is going to be nearly clear. Oh, caution's out again. Oh, it's Golly again.
Sure. Oh, 2 cars involved. Oh my golly, again.
And I don't think this is good news for Matthew White. And I think Gauntly is finally going to call it a day. What happens? I don't know what that was. Oh, man, hard hit.
Well, I'm not sure.
I don't know what he was doing, to be honest. That was pretty terrible, and that's the 4th caution he caused, and that was one looked pretty intentional. Not really sure
I don't
why,
think he
though.
was all too happy about that restart.
Yeah, I don't think iCar officials are going to be too pleased with this, though, from what his performance today, to be honest.
Yep.
All right, he's been given a lap holding penalty, anyways. And we have cars pitting. Here comes one of your leaders here. I don't think this is good news for Matthew White. Schaefer comes, Knox Thompson comes, 3 others come. I don't think Matthew White wanted to see this caution at all. Now he's not going to be the only one on fresh tires. And his tire is going to have although only about a corner, but they will have a bit of a heat cycle on them as well.
Yeah.
But you will gain some spots up to 7th at least. All right, well, surely been a bit of a chaotic and wild one. We've already had more cautions than we did last night in the Truck Series here today. Truck race was shorter. iCar's had a lot of yellows lately, I feel like. A lot of chaos. Brody Webster was suspended for this race for wrecking me under caution. So I'm kind of the reason Brody Webster isn't racing tonight, which is a little bit funny.
Yeah.
As we'll come to the shoes, this time by, how about Cameron Chandler goes on the outside with Huntsicker. That'll get the front row to Gary Smith. Works last time, we'll see how it works this time. Alrighty, we're gonna restart with just 29 laps to go. It's go time, I would say, in Rockingham. And the sun is absolutely blinding us down the back straightaway. It's the same thing. The same sort of thing happens in Richmond. I don't know why. Like, it's not. We don't have a giant mirror in the back straightaway, so I don't really understand why the sun's reflecting like that. It's kind of.
Who knows? Maybe there is one.
I mean, maybe they built a giant mirror for the racetrack. Who knows? But we're gonna restart, like I said, with 29 remaining. I was at this racetrack last year. I didn't see any giant mirrors, so I really don't know.
Never know. Maybe it could have been a new addition.
As Pacetrack is gonna. God, that Pacetrack takes a very hard left turn. His neck is gonna be killing him at the end of this race. Back to green though in Rockingham. Good restart actually for Gary Smith.
Back there. I'm not sure what happened with him.
Gary Smith still trying to race Cameron Chandler. He might actually clear Chandler on the bottom. Ooh, Chandler gets loose again. That's going to even a bigger opportunity. We have somebody in the wall almost.
Trouble on the back straightaway. Christian Herkloff nearly won.
Smith back to the inside of Chandler. Cameron Chandler wraps the top. He's going to be clear on Gary Smith. And trying to now run down your leader, Braden Huntsicker. Looking back here, Matthew White to the outside of Ashton Miller for 5th. Remember, Matthew White in slightly fresher tires. But Schaefer's on even fresher tires behind him. There's Jake Clarino in the 33 car. And Clarino, looking to the inside for a 3rd, had such a great truck last night until he got taken out late by his teammate Cole Wilson. one of the fastest trucks on the racetrack, was fastest in practice, led a couple of laps. Hasn't had the same pace today, but here he is to the inside of the, now he's got Matthew White to his outside for fourth again, like I say that. Light now the bumper of Smith. He is coming. He's sitting inside there of the 97th for third place. Going to try to put a bit of a slide job. Almost puts him in the wall. Now will clear. Schaefer also fresh tires coming to the inside. Chandler also trying to race for the lead with Braden Hunsicker. 25 laps to go in Rockingham. Gary Smith up to the outside lane, a bit of a slide out of the 97 car. Door to door down the back. And clear for fourth place. On the inside, Knox Thompson door to door with CJ Irvin for a knock. Almost contact. Christian Norcott still 10 laps down behind him as well. Ashton Miller is stuck back in 7th. Here he is back in 8th from Sherry. He's had a very quiet day after winning, of course, the truck race last night. Had a very quiet day going until he took the lead late in that race, so anything could happen. Here we go for the lead. Matthew White is closing.
A bit into the wall.
Cameron Chandler there. We got about a 3-way battle for the lead, almost a 4-way battle with this Schaefer coming as well. Chandler goes outside through 3 and 4. Oh, but he gets a little bit loose. Matthew White now trying to come to 3
Matthew
wide.
White also gets loose. Schaefer
3 wide down the front straightaway.
Behind him.
There's Gary Smith in the middle. Florino's going to be clear. You got Ashton Miller in the 79 up front. You got the 8 car of Cameron Chandler. He's got Matthew White down, who's inside now. Here we go for second. White still trying to take advantage of those fresher tires. Here's Schaefer as well. Hunsiker's holding these guys up. He's loose. Slides around for second. Door to door between Matthew White and Cameron Chandler. Chandler nearly in the wall a little bit. You got the 79 around the outside. Here comes Schaefer. What a run. He clears Matthew White. Now here comes Chandler to the inside of Hunsicker. Side by side nearly, but a crossover move coming back down low. Schaefer for second place. In his debut. Door to door with the champion Cameron Chandler. That 8 car on the wall a little bit. Oh, Matthew White also trying to pressure him. This is exactly what Hunsicker wants to see in his mirror. These guys racing for it hard.
20 laps to go, coming to the line right here.
Now Matthew White back around the outside of Schaefer. He is clear to third. But they're still all over the back bumper of Braden Hunsicker. Here is Cameron Chandler.
Slightly in the wall there.
Oh, Chandler in the wall. Almost contact with Matthew White. He's actually going to back out of it. Lets Matthew White go in. Schaefer going to his bottom. This is allowing Hunsicker to try to pull away even more. Chandler again runs the wall through 1 and 2. But still on a bit of a disadvantage with these older tires, and Schaefer. What a move.
He does.
Got really loose on the bottom. Braden Hunsicker, caution's out.
Caution is out. This is definitely Braden Hunsicker did not want to see.
Oh, around goes Cherry Miller, also involved with Gary Smith. We will see what happens. So, door to door here. Oh, Smith in the wall. He hooks that 79 to Miller. And Knox Thompson, look at that, nearly avoiding that. And then Richard Cherry, not been a very good day for him. He spins it out as well. Let's ride along.
We're going to have to ride along Knox Thompson, see what his view was all through that.
First of all, with Cherry. They wreck ahead of him. And, oh yeah, just trying to avoid it, spin himself into the wall, and around he goes with that 97 of Smith. We will now look from the blimp. Side by side, into the wall he goes, and then, yeah, just hooks Ashton Miller. Nothing Miller could have done there. Knox Thompson nearly gets a piece of it. We'll ride along with the 48 real quick. See how he kind of made his way through this accident. We have, by the way, Braden Hunsicker. I don't know what just happened on pit road. We got some cars pitting real quick. I actually got to look at that. Wow, okay. All of a sudden, Matthew White got to stay out here. We got cars on pit road. Cameron Chandler pitting. Braden Hunsicker pitting. This is kind of interesting. 16 to go. Hunsicker will give up the lead. There we go. I'm not sure about this call. We'll see. Hunsicker wins the race off the pit road. Second will be Chandler. All right. Got a lot of cautions in this one so far tonight. Pretty chaotic. Definitely a lot less tame than we saw in the truck race last night. Gonna restart with 14 to go with the shoes this time. So, I mean, Cameron is going to restart, or Braden is going to restart in fifth. I mean, a lot of cars came down pit road. This could actually work out very good for them, again, on fresh tires. White chooses the inside. Knox Thompson gets second. He'll choose the bottom lane. Outside for Schaefer. We're going to have 14 laps of racing to go. From the Rock. And Matthew White maybe try to drive off because you remember Hunsicker still has the pass. A couple of these guys like Schaefer, Knox Thompson, and CJ Erdman. Or will he get a great restart? Same thing with Cameron Chandler. Will they be right on the back bumper of Matthew White? Matthew's got to hope the guys behind him can race up the 77 and the others that pitted. Been a crazy one so far. Here we go. 14 laps to go from Rockingham back to green. Matthew White is easily clear on both Knox Thompson and Schaefer. Heading back to 1 and 2. Hunsicker got a good restart. He's up in the 4th place here. We got a car on the wall. And again, the round goes to 5. We should stay green. Look at Hunsicker down in the bottom. 3 wide. Nearly making contact with Knox Thompson. Here comes Cameron Chandler around the outside lane. Chandler there now on the outside. He clears Hunsicker up into 4th. He goes now to the wall a little bit. Got these 2 others ahead of it. Hunsicker not giving up. Back to the bumper from Chandler. Chandler splits the 48 and the 69 to the inside of Schaefer for 2nd place. On those fresh tires. Clear to P2. 12 laps to go. Hunsicker, he is there again to the inside. Trying to go to the inside and looking to clear that Schaefer machine. He's in the 3rd. Ashton Miller also in fresh tires. Now here comes Chandler to the bottom. Matthew White slides, almost wrecks the race car. They're side by side down the front straightaway, door to door. Where will Hunsicker make his move? Look at us trying to squeeze that thing in the middle. White again around the outside, but Chandler's surging on the bottom. White gets loose, nearly takes out Hunsicker. Into 2nd place, looking to go that 77 car. And will he be able to chase down Cameron Chandler? He slides, but gets clear to P2. Matthew White gonna push him down the front straightaway. Here comes Miller as well. Braden Hunsicker drives it deep into the corner on Chandler with 10 laps to go. Oh, we got a spinner again. Schaefer in the wall hard. And the caution is out with Knox Thompson as well. We'll see what happens. So real quick, another caution here. Schaefer just gets tight. Not a good way to end his debut here. Hard in the wall he goes. Knox Thompson also taken out. It's right along with Joseph Schaefer here, Jonathan Schaefer, to see what he what we saw. Unfortunately, to the wall. Loses it, and that will pretty much end his debut. Not the way he wanted to end it whatsoever. But ran up front, has speed. Gonna maybe continue his career maybe next week at Coconut. We'll see. Well, 9 laps to go now. Cameron Chandler leads. Braden Hunsicker second. Sorry, Zane. I don't know what happens, but I guess you're back now.
Yep, I'm back.
We got 8 laps to go. Caution is out yet again.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate for the 9 of Jonathan Schaffer. He had a really great pace tonight.
Can Cameron Chandler hold on for this win? We will see.
All right, here's the choose cone here. Let's see what these guys can do.
Here we go. Chandler soon would choose the outside. Hunsicker goes top. Maybe a bit of a risk. That'll give the inside of Matthew White. We're going to restart with just 6 to go here. All right. What's going to happen in these final 6 laps of the race? Can Matthew White get a good restart in the inside lane, or can Hunsicker get another great restart and clear himself back into 2nd place? We assume Cameron Chandler would drive off easily. But you can't ever be too certain about that. Here we go. Going to be 6 laps to go. Well, buckle in. Here we go. Trying to finish this one off for iCar at Rockingham.
Doesn't seem like Knox Thompson and Wyatt Blair are too happy on the radio from what I'm listening right now.
Yeah, it's been a lot of feuds going on tonight, or we are just about ready to settle this one. Chandler, White, Hunsicker, Miller, Smith, your top 5. 6 laps to go at the Rock. Back to green, a bit of contact, a lot of contact on the restart. Matthew White got a good jump on the bottom, but Hunsicker tries to push Cameron Chandler. Oh, and they're wrecking big time.
48 Knox Thompson. Hercules, Cobbs.
Pig crash. It's the big one. Down on a 1 and 2.
Wyatt Blair just drove to the back of Knox Thompson and took like at least half of the field out. Good grief.
And Wyatt Blair there on the bottom, exclusively an iCar
he
driver.
gets into the wall. These two are not having it whatsoever.
I don't know what that was. That was pretty terrible. I'm not really sure.
Wyatt Blair should be parked for the rest of the season because that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't really understand at this point. He just goes to the bottom of Knox Thompson. And just, yeah, that was pretty, I don't know if you would call it intentional. I don't really know.
Thompson not too
Oh,
happy
yeah.
on the radio here from what I'm listening.
It's something. Oh my god, what is he doing? Oh my, you know what? I think that's enough for him. That is enough.
There we go.
And Rex himself under caution. Rex tries to wreck Knox Thompson under yellow there. Pretty unbelievable. Well, this is probably going to set up overtime. There'll be 2 laps to go. This is going to be interesting. Can Matthew White hold on? Well, Matthew White, real quick, I didn't even realize this. He's being scored the leader right now. What just happened?
Yes,
Okay.
I guess he must have gone up ahead of Cameron Chandler from that.
Well, this race just got
Must
even
be
more
probably furious
wild.
about that.
They just confirmed it in scoring. Matthew White is your leader. coming to the choose. That'll give him the outside lane. That'll give Braden Hunsicker the bottom as well in third. Chandler chooses the bottom. This is I would say a good call. If I was second, I would not want to choose the outside lane. I would choose the bottom and try to race my way there to the inside of the leader. It will not be officially overtime, but it will be green-white checkered finish here. And I believe they only have one attempt at that. I'm not really. I don't know if it's going to actually count as an official overtime. So I think this might not actually count as the one green-white checkered. I think we get another yellow here.
Don't think so.
Well, here we go. 2 laps to go. Green-white checkered finish in Rockingham. Matthew White got the lead from Cameron Chandler at that big stack-up restart when the caution came out. Can he hold on to win this race? Have his teammate Hunsicker trying to push him. Here we go. 2 to go in Rockingham. Green flag back in the air. Ooh, it's a good restart for Matthew White. He's away of at least Hunsicker and Chandler as well. He's going to try to get clear, but Chandler fights his way back to the inside through 1 and 2. Door to door. And side by side down the back straightaway. Hunsicker as well. Chandler blinks back in a 3 and 4, but he slides up the racetrack. Here comes Hunsicker to the 3 wide for second place. White flag in the air. One more time around Rockingham. 3 wides, they head back at a 1 and 2 for P2. And this is just going to allow Matthew White to try to drive away. Maybe one more charge for Braden Hunsicker. Chandler wrecks down the back straightaway.
Cameron Chandler into Gary Smith.
Final charge for Hunsicker. Coming to the checkered flag. Off turn 4. Matthew White's going to win a wild one in Rockingham.
Matthew White wins the iCar Rockingham.
Wow. That was, and Cameron Chandler, I believe, going to come home in 10th. He is not going to be pleased.
Yep, listening out to the radio right here, he is not happy with what happened.
I wouldn't be either. He got roughed around there at the end. And
from the back to the front, Matthew White wins.
Yeah, and real quick scene. Remember the points battle. There's 30 points coming to this one. Cameron finishes 10th now. Matthew wins the race. This is going to be very interesting. We got to look at this straight away for the point situation.
Yes, this is detrimental for the point standings itself since Cameron was the leader. Matthew, I believe, he was about like 37 points behind him, so this is a really major win for him.
Yeah, well, this is going to be very, very good now. With just 4 races to go this season, he will burn it down in the 18 car. The second on all-time wins for iCar, Matthew White is. He collects only his 2nd win of the season. Well, it was Nashville Fairgrounds. I feel like he should have more, but of course does not. Burn it down here at Rockingham. What a race. My God, that was chaotic. I mean, compared to the truck race last night, this is one of the most chaotic races I've seen here at Rockingham ever. My God. They could not keep it straight, I feel like.
But yeah, what a race for Matthew White tonight. He comes from the back to the front to win the Rockingham iCar 100.
What a night. Post-race interviews coming up here at The Rock. That was certainly an interesting one, to say the least. YouTube died for everybody middle of the race. Luckily, I think we got that back, and people are able to watch the finish at least. And we'll have some post-race interviews coming up. Matthew White doesn't have a voice, so he will not be getting a post-race interview, as always. So we're going to see when the next top finisher comes in here.
Yeah, let's go over quickly about our finishing results here. Of course, Matthew White finishes first, Braden Hunsicker second, Ashton Miller third, CJ Urban, how about him? Terrible day from the start, finishes fourth, Jacob Clarino in fifth, Knox Thompson sixth, Juan Cobbs Jr. seventh, Jonathan Schaffer, his day ended sadly with disappointment, eighth, Gary Smith ninth, Cameron Chandler 10th, Wyatt Blair 11th, Christian Herklotz 12th, Richard Cheery 13th, Keegan Shelton 14th, Jeremiah Gottlieb 15th, TJ Moon 16th, Wyatt Miller 17th, Cash Culp 18th.
Very, very, very chaotic day to say the least here at the Rock. But post-race interview is going to be coming up straight away, I guess. First of all, we're going to start off. How about CJ Ehrman coming home in fourth place somehow? CJ Ehrman, you guys will finish in fourth tonight. What a finish! It definitely isn't where you guys ran, but you took advantage of some things happening there late in the race. How about it? Fourth place finish. How'd you get here?
Yeah, certainly got lucky. We did not run there all day and just had damage constantly. Got run into under caution by somebody. I forget who it was, but that gave us more rear-end damage, and car was really loose after that, so it was hard to hang on to. But took advantage of some of the chaos at the end and was able to steal a fourth place. So I'll take it.
Of course, this is great momentum for you guys. You are out of contention basically for the iCar Pro Series Championship, but showing that you could finish well here, how much confidence does that give you for the rest of this week?
Well, yeah, Rockingham's a place that I've kind of struggled at in the past, but I felt like we were decent last year in the Xfinity Series. Just got wrecked, not on my own doing. Hopefully this week we can have a decent run tomorrow night and make up some points on Thursday.
All right, CJ, well, great job. Top 5 finish here at Rockingham and the iCar race, and we'll see you, of course, tomorrow night for Grand National.
Yep, thank you.
Coming up next, going to be Knox Thompson. Knox Thompson, all in all, a pretty decent day for you guys. You ultimately will come home sixth. It was a pretty wild race all around. I mean, what ultimately led you guys to sixth place, and what was your perspective there ultimately at the finish?
The perspective was I got killed by Wyatt Blair 5 times under caution, 5 different times, and then he kills me under green flag and takes out half the field, and I still get sixth. Miserable attempt.
All right, well, anyways, Knox, we of course go to the Grand National race here tomorrow night at Rockingham. You guys enter the Grand National Series 4th in points, so ultimately still in a pretty good spot. You currently sit 17th points behind the leader. You've had a great Grand National season for points-wise. How do you think that can continue tomorrow?
Really confident coming into this Rockingham week. I'm usually great here, but just the confidence has been shattered after today. But maybe still get myself a top 5 tomorrow.
All right, Knoxville, of course, nice job finishing in 6th here tonight. We will see you tomorrow for Grand National.
100%.
Up next, going to be... let's see here. I believe Jonathan Schaefer. Jonathan Schaefer, you guys had good speed here tonight. Ultimately, you'll finish in 8th, but late in the race, looked like you got loose, spun out in the bottom, hit the wall. But ultimately, still a very good day for your iCar debut today. Pretty chaotic one all around. What were your thoughts on this race and ultimately where you guys finished in 8th?
Yeah, I feel like we definitely had top 3 speed there. We just took the wrong pit strategy. We pitted a little too early and, lost tire there and ended up falling back. But overall, a good run. I want to thank Wyatt Miller for spotting me there, keeping me safe. But yeah, it was a fun race, and it's my first race with iCar. And like I said, we just missed pit strategy, so we'll definitely be back to win some races here.
Well, yeah, so of course, next week, iCar goes to Pocono. So will we see you in that race?
Yes, yeah, you'll see me there at Pocono. I'll be there.
All right, Jonathan, nice job ultimately in your debut. Sorry I kind of ended there a little bit bad with that damage you got late in the race, but we will see you next week from Pocono, Pennsylvania.
That's all good. Thank you guys for the great stream. I appreciate it.
Of course. All right, coming up next is going to be, I believe Christian Erklotz. Christian Erklotz, you guys had okay speed starting off this race. Unfortunately, it looks like you nearly spun out. You had to come to pit road a few times. You finished 9 laps down. What were the big struggles in this race for you guys?
TJ Moon. I get side by side with TJ Moon. He kind of cut me no room. I ran down to the apron and I spun, hit the brakes, and then got eviscerated by the pit barrels. But we still wound up getting a 12th. Talk about small victories. 9 laps down, but we put in a solid effort. We qualified pretty good. We had decent speed. My main focus is really for tomorrow. Not really too upset. Just a little disappointed, but yeah, we're just gonna move on, I guess.
Well, Christian, of course, like we said, we head into the Grand National race tomorrow. You're second in points. You think regaining the points lead is in the cards?
Yeah, always when you're in a position like that, I think we just got to play our cards right. Try to work with some of our teammates and try to be there at the end.
All right, Christian. Well, we'll see you tomorrow night for Grand National. Up next, going to be Ashton Miller finished third. Ashton Miller, I believe this is back-to-back third-place finishes after finishing third last night in trucks. He finished third here tonight in iCar. Pretty different situations, though, all around for these races. What were your thoughts at the end of the race here? And ultimately, being in contention for the win for the second straight night, but ultimately we'll finish third.
Yeah, coming to that last lap, I didn't want to like get into contact with Cameron there. I was trying to find a way around him, but I think the only way I could have done that is if I tried to send it 3 wide, and obviously you see the results and stuff. But I mean, how we got through that is beyond me. But this stuff happens. It's just, I guess, it's a part of racing. I hate it for it to happen to Cam though. That's really unfortunate for him. But you know, third place again. Hopefully, it gets us somewhat decent in the points. But I don't know, like what we're at this point.
Well, of course, most importantly, we go into the Cup Series here at Rockingham on Thursday. You guys are going to enter. Let me check real quick. Just below the Chase cut line, I should say, in 11th in points. Do you think you can maybe drive your way back inside of the Chase tomorrow night?
I mean that's the goal. If we can, that would be amazing. But
I meant,
it's
I meant
it's
Thursday.
gonna be a hard one. Oh yeah, it's Thursday. You know what I meant, driver.
Yeah, nice
But
try.
yeah, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard, driver.
Wow. Okay. Anyways, Ashton Miller, nice job finishing third, and we will see you either tomorrow or Thursday.
Thank you, driver.
Anyways, coming up next, gonna be Gary Smith finishing ninth. Gary Smith, ninth place finish, but that's not where you guys are riding. You had top 5 speed all day long. Ultimately, what happened there at the end to take you guys out of contention?
I mean, I could get on here and cry and bark that Ashton Miller came up and hit Cameron, but I'm not. It was last lap. We was all racing. I stuck my car into a bad gap, and it just there was too many cars on a 2 wide track. You know what I'm saying? It just funneled down. I killed Cameron. You know, it's whatever. If he wrecks me next race, I wouldn't blame him at all. It was a fun race though. The whole time I felt like I was top 5 ish. You know, but I love Rockingham. I suck at Rockingham, but I love Rockingham. If we had a weekly series here, that'd be freaking great. We should invest in that. Shout out Shenandoah Speedway and TJ Moon did not wreck anybody at Eldora in the trucks.
Okay. Anyways, we go to the Cup Series, of course, on Thursday here at The Rock. Will we see you in that race?
I have no idea. My schedule has no stability at all.
All right, Gary. Well, nice job still in the race, and we'll see you whenever we see you.
Hell yeah.
Coming up next, going to be we'll do one more. Jeremiah Gauntly.
You think I'll do
Jeremiah
him?
Gauntly, unfortunately, pretty rough race for you guys. I think, were involved in 4 incidents tonight. Final one actually did you in.
Yep.
What was the struggle?
I don't know. I experienced this last night with the trucks as well. Rockingham is just not my place. It's not at all. I'm not comfortable no matter how the car is, whether it's tight, loose, or anywhere. I just don't have a good feel for this place, and that really showed tonight with my self spins, which honestly, I'm really sorry that those were cautions in the first place. They really shouldn't have been. And I also was just kind of plagued by just idiots in the back there, like Wyatt Blair and whoever was in the 17, whoever I flash wrecked with. I just unfortunately was plagued by my own mistakes and just who I was around.
Well, of course, we go to Grand National tomorrow night. Ultimately, here at Rockingham, what's your confidence level with the Grand National car, at least?
Not high. After a night with trucks and the ARCA car, which I did run both of them just to prepare myself for Grand National, as much as I could, which is honestly good in hindsight. Um, but it's a little higher, but it's also a little lower for my performance. I'm just really hoping I've got a better feel for the Grand National car than the iCar and then trucks.
All right, Jeremiah. We'll see you tomorrow night in Grand National.
Yep. See you then.
Okay, well, Zane, very chaotic race ultimately here for, I guess, your first ever race in the booth here at Rockingham. Any final thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, overall, a really great, chaotic day for these guys. I mean, ton of cautions, a lot of, I would say this. I don't even know what to say at this point. Just a lot of chaos. Oh, hang on, we got Richard Cherry here. Richard Cherry, do you have anything to say?
Kieran Shelton sucks.
Wow.
Well said, my man. Well said.
Well, you know what, Richard Cherry, why don't you do the outro?
Well, it's been a chaotic race here from Rockingham. A lot of wrecks. We had the total amount of 9 cautions for 27 laps out of 100 laps run. Matthew White is your winner here with a ball strategy. From the Rock, second, Braden Hunziker. Third is Aston Miller. We had a good run from C.J. Ehrman, 4th place. 6th for Knox Thompson, really remarkable. 7th for the 13 of Juan Cobbs Jr. And in his debut in the league, Jonathan Schaffer finishes P8. He was running really, really well. He was on the voice that said he had a lot of fun. And a disappointing result from Kevin Keller. So tomorrow you got the Grand National race at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And on Thursday, the pinnacle of NASCAR, the Cup Series at 8 p.m. So don't miss it. See y'all tomorrow. I actually tried to make it like serious.